Would you like to learn how to make perfect cream puffs or choux pastry? Stay tuned to the 75th episode of Hilltop Stovetop. Hello and welcome back to Hilltop Stovetop, the show where we're teaching you how to make great meals in an ordinary kitchen. Today is a special edition because it's our 75th episode. And who would have thought that 75 episodes ago, when I started this just to show people how to make their Thanksgiving dinner, that it would have progressed as far as it has. But it's still going strong, and thanks to all my subscribers and the people that do continue to watch. So today we're going to do cream puffs, or choux pastry as it's known, C-H-O-U-X. It's a great thing to learn how to make. You can make cream puffs, which you can use as desserts, or you can fill them with tuna salad or chicken salad and have them as an entree. You can make them small to be hors d'oeuvres, or you can make them really large. And you can also make them into long skinny shapes and make them into eclairs. So lots of things that you can do with this, and it's surprisingly simple. The trick is having all of your ingredients measured out ahead of time. So we've got 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour, and 4 eggs. And I am using the Instant Pot today, not because we need it for the pressure cooking aspect, but because it will make it easier for camera work, that's all. So we're just going to turn that on to the saute mode because we want this to, we're going to start off with our water, bring that up to a boil, and then we're also going to add in, as that beeps away, we're going to add the butter into the water, and we're going to watch this very carefully till the butter melts. And that's the critical point in it, is when the butter has exactly melted and you just start to see the bubbles coming up in the water, then it will be time for the next step. So just give us a moment for this to melt and we'll see you back. All right, so you can see here that our butter has almost melted, and we're going to watch it really, really carefully. And as soon as that last little tidbit of butter has melted and we see the first bit of bubbles coming up out of the water, then we're going to add in this 1 cup exactly of flour. And while I'm waiting for this, I also have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. All right, so there's our butter melted. So now watch it carefully on this. Hopefully the overhead shot comes out right on this, because we'll just start to see those little bubbles coming up in the water. And this is, if you let it go too long, then too much water evaporates and you end up with the wrong proportion of water to flour. Okay, so there's our bubbles. I'm going to add in all of our flour all at once, and we're going to stir it. And you notice I've left it on the heat, and we're going to keep stirring it until it forms, until all the flour is incorporated and it starts to form a ball. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to set our heater off to the side, and we're going to plug in our mixer. And this is one of these things that you do have to make it with real flour. I don't think you could substitute anything else in there, because the gluten in this is critical. Okay, so we've got our flour and butter and water. We've got our 4 eggs. We're going to dump them all in at once and take our mixer. We're going to mix it until it gets a satiny texture. There we go. As easy as that. Now we take this mixture, and I've got my baking pan all ready to go here. And if you're using a 1/4 cup of measuring, we're going to end up with 12 cream puffs. I'm just using a regular ice cream scoop. If I was using my small ice cream scoop, I would end up with very small cream puffs, which would be great for hors d'oeuvres. We're just going to give it a plop. And you want to give lots of space in between, because these are going to about double in size when they cook. Actually, I think these are probably more than 1/4 cup size, but that's okay. That just means that we've got bigger cream puffs. And this would be very appropriate if we were doing a main course, like filling it up with some kind of savory filling. So I'm going to do a few different sized ones here. If we're doing really small ones, you cook it for a shorter length of time. These are going to cook about 45 minutes in the oven. Now, if you're really fussy about it, you could have put all of this into a piping bag and made them very symmetrical kind of shapes. But this kind is fine for me. So what's going to happen is when these go in the oven, the egg is going to cause it to puff up a bit. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are definitely more than 1/4 cup size. And so we're going to put these in the oven 45 minutes, 400 degrees, and we will see you when they come out of the oven. All right, so we're about 40 minutes into the cooking process, and things are smelling like they're about done. And I've checked it, and it looks to me like they're about done. So I'm going to take these out of the oven now, and you're going to be amazed, because when I said they doubled in size, they have doubled in size. I really made these a little bit too big. They're more of an entree size rather than a nice little dessert, but they're still pretty amazing. And there we go. So we're just going to, right off the bat, you notice I put this on parchment paper. We're going to slide them onto our cooling rack. And this is the critical part, or one of the critical parts here, is that we let these cool before we start trying to touch them or open them up. So we're going to give this 20 minutes or so to cool, and we will see you then. And in the meantime, I will be putting together some filling for these. Okay, and we are back, and our cream puffs have had a chance to cool, and Coco's having a chance to have a little drink there in the background. So now what we do is we're going to cut a little hole in the top with a very sharp knife. And I like to use one that has a serrated edge to it. And we're just going to open that up. And I don't know if you can see, but what's happened is that dough has got, there is some residue on the inside that is still quite soft. It's quite tasty stuff, but we're going to scoop out any membrane sort of in there. And then I've made some filling here. This is, what I did was I took some vanilla instant pudding, a package of vanilla instant pudding, a package of chocolate instant pudding, and mixed it up with just half of the milk. So under normal circumstances, it would call for 4 cups. Well, I just put in 2 cups. And then I also put in a package of cream cheese and mixed that all up together. So we've got a fairly thick filling. And I put it all in a Ziploc bag. And I'm just going to cut the corner off of that. And squeeze it all down in here. And then that. Now, like I said, these are fairly big for a dessert type cream puff. But that's still okay. There we go. And then you pop the lid back on. And there we go. Perfect little cream puff. So I hope you enjoyed today's 75th episode of Hilltop Stovetop, where we learned how to make choux pastry or cream puffs. And we will see you again at the next episode. Bye-bye for now.